Orzammar was once the seat of a major empire connected by tunnels called deep roads, which stretched thousands of miles. The city now stands alone, cut off from the rest of the Dwarven ancestral lands by the Darkspawn incursion. Secure in Orzammar's impregnable construction, the Dwarven noble houses continue their centuries-old power struggles. Assassination and blackmail are commonplace, but the appearance of honor is paramount. You are the second child of King Endren of House Aeducan, the 9th Aeducan ruler elected by the Noble Assembly. You grew up in a world rife with political intrigue and have struggled against brothers and cousins for honor and prestige. Today, a feast celebrates your first military commission, the opening move towards real power in the ever-changing game of Dwarven politics.
Greetings, my lady. You are dressed and ready. Excellent. I couldn't find the armor's matching dagger, but I scrounged up a rather fancy longsword. Do you wish to wear your shield to the noble's feast? As opposed to the paragon of beauty? Don't you remember how this game goes? I get undressed, then one of your brothers or cousins appears and thrashes me. I'll take my chances somewhere outside the palace if you don't mind. Perhaps after the feast. Well, thoughts for later, I suppose. Moving on to the business at hand. The king expects you to make an appearance at the feast, but there's no rush. The noble family heads will spend hours boring your father with petitions and petty grievances. As part of the celebrations, permits have been auctioned off to members of the merchant caste who wish to sell wares in the Diamond Quarter. Lord Harrowmont has also opened up the provings for young warriors to test their mettle before tomorrow's battle. Rumor has it that Harrowmont hopes you'll be swept off your feet if a well-placed young nobleman wins the provings in your honor. I've got a well-built magical broom just for you, but that's for later. What shall we do now? With you as always, my lady. The day is ours until the feast.
I shall do it. I shall do it.
No sign of trouble here.
My Lord Balin? Oh. I'm sorry. I thought you were Prince Balin coming down the hall. Forgive me.
Prince Balin is attending the feast being held in Lady Aeducan's honor.
Yes, of course. It was presumptuous of me to think that he would return to... I am sorry. I will show myself out. With your leave, my lady. Thank you. I will go now.
father has allowed the merchants to show their wares in the Diamond Quarter during these celebrations.
I'm sure we can work this out reasonably. It's in the records. There's nothing I can do. Please, Master Volney. My work is accredited by the Shaper.
These books are lies written by the enemies of House Volney.
I write only what I find in the ancient records. Lady Iduken, you can vouch for my work, can't you? Your father loved my History of Iduken, Paragon King, Peacemaker.
The king, as well as several other lords, are quite fond of his work. He writes of the ancient paragons.
This worm has written a book that slanders my house. It doesn't matter, it's all lies.
My work tells the stories of all those raised paragons in the last 500 years. When the Assembly names a paragon, that man or woman is then, by definition, everything one can aspire to be in the world. They form their own noble houses and are revered as living ancestors. But paragons start off as men.
Volney was more than a man.
Iduken was much loved, but he was still a man. He was plagued by melancholy, and his fervor regarding Orzamar's safety bordered on obsession. When Iduken was proposed as a paragon, only one lord in the Assembly objected. The others savagely hacked him to death. Iduken's motion passed without a single dissenting vote.
Unlike Volney, is that what you mean, old man?
Volney became a paragon by the narrowest margin in history. One vote. A vote mired in rumors of intimidation, intrigue, and outright bribery. The records of that vote are kept in the Shaperate and are a matter of fact. Not liking history doesn't make it any less true.
You're taking his side? What if he published a book like this about your paragon Iduken? And Volney was not? Must you disparage a paragon? You've made a huge mistake.
That fool has no idea how weak his house is or how low he sits in it. Shall I have him killed, my lady? Understood.
You've shown yourself more daring and aggressive today than most believed of you. Someday I hope to write of the great exploits you are sure to perform.
Word has been sent. He won't live past the hour.
You've shown House Iduken a friend to research, history, and the glory of our people. Of course, heroism and pity for the small man have always been hallmarks of House Iduken. Now, I must try to make sense of these notes. Good day, Your Highness, and thank you.
Small bolt of cloth? That's outrageous. You certainly have some gall, merchant.
Atrasfala, big sister. How surprising to run into you out among the common folk.
Especially since duty requires that you attend our King Father at the feast today. Have you so little respect for him to disregard his wishes on a day set aside for you?
Lord Harrowmont told me we wouldn't be needed for hours at least.
Silence! If I want the opinion of my sibling's second, I will ask for it.
Yes, Your Highness.
You're on your own. I've been dealing with him all afternoon.
What exactly is that supposed to mean, little brother?
Nothing, Trian. I've been having a great time. The speech you gave to the legless boy about hard work and making something of himself was fantastic.
As heir to the throne, it is my duty to impart wisdom and judgment upon those who need it. Now then, you, get to the feast. Stubborn, aren't you? When I'm king, I will help you get over that. Come, Balin.
That was fun. Nothing like being talked down to by the next king. We can only hope. Perhaps we should get going.
But my lord, these are serpents.
What about that one? I doubt either.
My lady, are you heading to the proving arena? We have been charged with the task of escorting you to the proving grounds.
I clean forgot about that. Forgive me, I should have informed you sooner. The king decided you were not to travel through the commons unguarded. I did mention the merchants that won permits to show their goods in the Diamond Quarter. There were only so many permits auctioned off, and quite a few were turned away. Your father fears you will be harassed on the way to the proving.
Will we be leaving then? We are at your command.
Your Highness, it is an honor to have you here. Have you come to watch these brave warriors do battle in your honor? Your Highness, this proving is in your honor.
Then honor her by doing as she says. Lady Iduken will fight in this proving.
Of course, it is well within your rights. Men and women of Orzammar, we have a late entry to these provings, held on the eve of battle for the honor of House Iduken. I give you the Lady Iduken herself! Are you ready for your first match? Then let us begin! This is a glory proving, fought under the watchful eyes of the paragons of Orzammar, for the honor of House Iduken. Lady Iduken will fight Alair Bimo, youngest son of Lord Bimo.
You honor me with this match.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight! That was quite a fight. Alair Bimo is no slouch with that hammer. Are you ready for your next opponent? Adal Helmi, another female warrior and a tenacious fighter. Excellent. Let us go. This is a glory proving, fought under the watchful eyes of the paragons of Orzammar, for the honor of House Iduken. Lady Iduken will fight Adal Helmi, eldest daughter of Lady Helmi.
You are my inspiration, Your Highness, and to all of us who follow your example and live by the sword.
First warrior to fall is vanquished. Fight! That was a crowd pleaser. I can't remember the last time we had two female warriors of such skill. Sir Blackstone is your next opponent. Are you ready to face him? One of the best as the warrior has. He achieved glory in close combat assault in the deep roads. Then let us begin! This is a glory proving. All under the watchful eyes of the veterans of Orzammar, for the honor of House Viking. Lady Iduka will fight Sir Blackstone. He will squad glory.
This is your education. Try to learn the rest of me.
Fight! Well done. You have proven that even the best of the warrior caste cannot match a noble like Duke. Frandanivo is your final opponent. He too has had many victories today. Are you ready to face him, or will you rest first? He is a decorated fighter who prefers unusual weapons and rarely fights with the same techniques twice.
House Ivo is relatively inconsequential, but Frandanivo changed that. He's expected to take full command of his own soon.
Very well. This is a glory proving. All under the watchful eyes of the paragons of Orzammar, for the honor of House Viking. Now, just a true warrior. Backbones of sword and wheels of iron, they have defeated all others this day. Maybe I will fight and I know second son of Lord.
You fight well. I wish you glory today and glory tomorrow.
First glory to fall is vanquished. The victor is champion. Fight! Congratulations. Frandanivo is as fierce a competitor as I've ever seen. You vanquished every warrior of today's movie. The ceremonial hell, commissioned by your father for today's winner, is yours. The people will remember your honor and generosity for all time.
My lady.
You heard the lady.
Your wish is our command.
My lady, I knew you. Nothing here rivals your amazing Duke armor. If there is something made,
you know very well House Duke has its own royal armors.
Of course, forgive me. You honor your highness.
Paragon seekers.
I shall do it.
My raid tomorrow must be more than a standard mission.
Many thanks for your willingness to hear me out, my lady. I wish to speak to you of a matter most urgent.
It looks as if the heads of House Bimo and mine are keeping your father busy, which leaves me plenty of time for our dear old friend Lord Ace.
You're a credit to your cast, Sir. I've always said so. If I had a daughter, I'd give her to you and make you the noble you deserve to be.
You honor me, my lord.
First, let me congratulate you on your commission. Two of King Endrin's children now commissioned warriors. Does great honor to your house. Of course, I didn't stop you just to express my loyalty. There is a vote coming before the Assembly next week, and a word from you could go a long way towards helping our cause. The vote concerns the status of the so-called surface caste, lost to the stone, air taxes, and so forth. Centuries ago, narrow-minded men declared that any dwarf who left to live on the surface forfeited his caste and his house noble. As he was, in essence, no longer a dwarf, I seek only to remedy the injustice, to retie the bonds of anyone who can trace himself to one of the noble houses wherever he may live. Please, agree to speak to this noble cause. Those on the surface are our lifeline. They facilitate trade with the surface. They're honorable and let's be honest. I don't care a whit for those who walk from stone. My wife, however, is of a different color. She has a cut, useless sword, but she's quite fond of him. He joined a speculative venture to the surface, hoping to make his fortune, and went bust. Now he wishes to come home, but he cannot, for he has no house and will be castless. For my wife's sake, I take up his cause. Will you lend me your voice? I keep my ears to the stone, my lady. I hear many things, some of which could be a great help during your mission tomorrow. A little forewarning to help your forearming, if you know what I mean. When your father presents you to the noble houses, I will ask for your opinion on the matter. You have merely to say that you feel our surface brothers should be returned their noble rights. What could be more simple?
You're a fool. Your mother would melt the stone if she knew what you just did. Lord Dace is playing you false. Go ahead, be his puppet. Your first command will be marked by every major house turning their back on you. Last spring, a guild from the merchant caste invested heavily in an expedition with a guild from the surface. Lord Dace backed the merchant guild, pouring a great deal of money into the venture. The expedition was a disaster. Clever child. Lord Dace lost a great deal of money and prestige. The Surface Guild has no way to repay the investment, but it does have several leading members who are descended from noble houses. House Helmi, Bimo, Dukin. You begin to see the whole picture. Your house and mine would be forced to pay the Surfacer's kin debts. It would be a great victory for Lord Dace. Just so, my clever friend. Smile and nod, and when he asks his question, tell him that the so-called Surface Caste are right where they belong. That should take Lord Dace down a peg or two. Good. Your house's reputation hangs in the balance.
King, please reconsider. Trade contracts alone could bring great prosperity to our houses.
Will we really turn our back on our brothers and a potential fortune in cheap labor because of a political technicality?
Denial of the traditions of our people does not qualify as a political technicality. There is more to life than monetary gains, my lords Bimo and Mino. The Assembly of Kal Shirak will respect the rule of Orzammar, or they will rot and die alone, surrounded by enemies.
Yes, my king.
But look, we have company to spare us further wrangling. Atrast Vala, my sweet daughter. How fine you look in your grandmother's armor. I hear you were declared champion of the Provings. I suppose you were never one to sit by when something exciting was going on. Are you ready to be presented to the heads of the noble houses? So dutiful. Very well, let us begin. Lords, ladies, grant me a moment of your time. We are here today so I may present to you my second eldest child, blessed by the stone and born of the blood that ran in the veins of the Paragon Idukan. Who would pose a question to the prospective commander? Who seeks to know the prospect better?
I have a question. I seek to know the prospect better.
Lord Dace, head of House Dace, speak.
Lords, ladies, my question concerns the plight of our wayward kin, the so-called service caste. What does the Commander Prospect think is the proper place for these lost souls?
Are you satisfied, Lord Dace? Do you feel you have learned something about the prospect?
Yes, my king.
Then if there are no other challenges, I give you Orzammar's next commander. Tomorrow, our newest commander will lead part of a mission to strike a great blow to the Darkspawn. Not only does this recover access to some of our most important mines, but it also allows our honored guest Duncan, head for our Elden Grey Wardens, to strike far into the deep roads.
Thank you, King Endrin. While the Darkspawn seem to grow, it is only because there are masses on the surface. This could be no blight, and I will discover the truth.
We are honored to have you with us, my friend. Now, peace, drink, and celebrate. For the morning brings you, my new commander. Find your brother Tree and send him to me. He may be watching the Provings, or getting some rest in his roots. Walk well, commander.
I suppose proud of yourself. That's the way the game is the assembly of playing. Next time, I will think more of you. You'll me. So you are a commander now, in name at least. Shouldn't you be attending our King Father? The world does not stop and start up your meager achievements, not even tonight. Now you have some purpose in bothering us. Of course he does. We must discuss strategy before tomorrow's battle. Balin, stay here and strengthen your commander's conceit if I like, but then get to bed.
All day I put up with that. It can really grate on the nerves. And what I'm going to tell you next won't make you any more fond of him.
Probably not. But you need to all the same. Trian has begun to move against you. I never thought his much proclaimed honor would allow him to act on his jealousy. Big sister, Trian is going to try to kill you. I wouldn't believe it myself if I hadn't heard him giving orders to his men. Trian decided your threat was taking the throne. Maybe he's right. You are as noble and stubborn as ever. After Trian kills you, I suppose I will be the heir. That's not how I would wish it. Enjoy your command tomorrow. I fear it will be short-lived.
Come, my lady. The hour grows late and you need rest. I will be right outside the door. May the Paragon smile down on us.
Trian and his men will clear the way for the Grey Wardens to descend into the easternmost caverns. Those caverns are still infested by the worst of the Darkspawn. We cannot risk our own troops in there.
Understood, Lord Harmond. We should be able to sense our Darkspawn and avoid them once the way is open. May the Paragons favor you. The stone catch you if you fall.
Combat! Blood awaits!
Leyland, you and your men will set a kick in, clearing the main road.
Don't you think it was a little cowardly to allow these humans to take our place where the fighting is thickest?
Are you questioning that battle plan?
Of course not. I'm sure your caution is for the glory of us all.
Enough, Leyland. Take your men and make ready. Paramount and I need to have words with the Sigly.
Good luck, my sister.
Your father has a special mission for you.
In the eastern deep roads, there's a secret door.
The door leads to a tide, abandoned long ago by your ancestors. The Darkspawn have made it impossible to reach it.
My father believed the shield of the Paragon remains in that tide under the stone central room. We claim the shield, and glory will be yours.
We sent 2 scouts ahead to make sure the tunnels are cleared. But be careful. One of the scouts will meet you at the first crossroads you come to. The second will be further in. When you get to the door, use your signet ring to open it. Questions? The crossroads where you meet the first scout will be the rendezvous point. There you can present the shield to the lords and demonstrate the strength of our token.
May the ancestors watch over you, my child.
I'm ready.
made it, Commander. Did you run afoul of any Darkspawn? Still, that was more than we expected. Once I finished scouting the tunnels, I here to avoid Darkspawn. Those tunnels are dead ends. What we want is swarming those fates. It's going to be fighting. I want, indeed, your gift of the helms and these new gems. Treasure always. Today's battle will bring us even more glory. I'll take no guard. Move.
I shall do it. There, running trap. Here, Darkspawn.
You're here. I thought the Darkspawn had got you for sure. Apologies, Commander. There's not a ton of formality down here in the deep roads. We want the tunnel ahead. There are Darkspawn tracks all over it. Be careful. I haven't ventured more than 100 yards ahead for fear of alerting other Darkspawn. I'll follow your lead, Commander.
As you say. As you say.
Looks like someone beat us to the door.
Dog's body is still fresh. Whoever opened the door is most likely still in there. Or it could be an ambitious cousin out for his own glory.
Understood. Let's move, men.
So glad you find joy in this. Eaten by ducks. Turns out shield isn't quite as to retrieve as I was led to believe. I would know where it is. So maybe you tell me where it is, and I don't let my walls as the co-cultures you want to kill. I'm your bad at that. And that's how I did it. That's that much you have to stone. Butcher. Now where's the shield? It's the fire. Both of us thinking and killing the other and losing nothing by the telling. Very well. One of the retreat. It opened the door just like. Now where is the shield? Oh, she's a funny one. Just a funny. Now kill these idiots. Tree and signet ring? Or it may be a warning for us to keep our guard up. Agreed. Now perhaps we should find the shield.
Very well. I shall do it.
there, on a cunning trap.
As you say.
What trap?
Very well.
Look there, on a cunning trap.
This is the room. How do we get the shield? You two, see if you can spot anything. It seems some of these tiles are different from the others. That's it. We've got it.
Doesn't look like much.
The skill of our crafters has come far since then. Still, the shield like Duke.
It helps rally the troops. It's a good thing. We need to get to the other rendezvous point. Back in the direction he came from, crossroads.
To the crossroads.
I can do it.
As you said.
Yes.
Really scheming against us. This would be the perfect place for an ambush. A convenient shield. We're all alone out here. I wish I had your confidence.
What's that you might bring about? Uh-huh. All right then.
It's Trian.
Must have been a dark spawn attack.
Doesn't look like Darkspawn. Fights and scratches, no mutation.
Someone's coming.
Hurry, Father. It's too...
By all the ancestors, what has happened here? It seems we were fast enough. Balin was right.
My daughter, tell me this isn't what it looks like.
She killed Trian, just like he said she would.
My lady is innocent.
Sir Gorham, your loyalty makes you a useless witness. It falls to others to tell the story. You, Scout, what happened here?
Trian and his men were here early. It seems they'd done battle with the Darkspawn. Lady Iduken came up to them all friendly-like, but when we got close, she ordered us to attack.
It is a valid question. The man is low-born and could easily be bought.
Frandlin Ivo, you are a good and noble man. Did the scout speak the truth?
He did, my lord. It was terrible. Prince Trian didn't stand a chance. Afterward, my lady stripped his signet ring.
You treacherous bastard! Silence, Gorham!
Do you have anything else to say, my daughter? I want to believe that. I really do.
Find her. She will be judged before the Assembly. To Orzammar.
Got 10 minutes, sir. Orders and all. You understand?
Of course. Leave us alone. I would have come sooner had they allowed it. How are you? And I for you, my heart. I bring little but bad news, though. Balin has taken Trian's place in the Assembly. He introduced a motion to condemn you immediately, and it easily passed. He had fully half the Assembly ready to vote on something completely against tradition and justice. He must have been making deals and alliances for months, if not years. He's more clever than either of us ever thought. Some of the lords, especially Harrowmont, are suspicious of Balin's instant rise to power. They are rallying, but far too slowly. The Assembly has already sentenced both of us. My knighthood will be stripped, my name torn from my family records. But I will be allowed to attempt some sort of life on the surface. Lord Harrowmont moved for a similar exile for you, but Balin's supporters overwhelmed him. You are to be sealed in the deep roads to fight Darkspawn until you are overwhelmed and killed. That may have been Balin's first mistake. Lord Harrowmont gave me access to see you so I could tell you this. Duncan and the Grey Wardens are still in the Deep Roads, in tunnels connected to those you are to be left in. If you survive long enough to find the Grey Wardens, you may be able to escape with Duncan. Our time is up. May the Paragons guide your sword and the stone hold you up. I will always be your man, my Lady Iduken.
They are ready for you now. Here is the prisoner, Lord Harrowmont.
Having been found guilty of fratricide by the Assembly of Orzammar, you are hereby sentenced to exile and death. Your name is from this point forward stripped from the records. You are no longer a person, nor a memory. You are to be cast into the Deep Roads with only sword and shield. Dare to redeem your life by fighting the enemies of Orzammar until your death. Do you have anything to say before the sentence is carried out? I want to believe that. Look me in the eye and tell me you didn't do this for your father's sake. I believe you. That means Balin planned this from the start. Believe me, I will spend the rest of my days making sure Balin does not profit by his deeds. Your father asked me to give these to you. This sword and shield are a fine reward from me. Strike a blow at our enemies. I will. Open the doors and let the condemned walk through. May the stone accept you when you fall.
There, a cunning trap. Trap. There, a cunning trap.
Shall be done.
The trap! Look there! A cunning trap!
I shall do it. shall be done. As you say. The trap! It is begun. Best be wary. Look there. A cunning trap. Order shall be given. It is a fine thing we've done. I shall do it. Come, defend this!
By the makeup, it's a wolf. Lady Idukan, what are you doing here alone? Where are your troops? You've been made to walk the deep roads, then.
You mean we're exiled? What happened?
I do not think that matters of Dwarven honor or any business of ours. You need not answer, friend. Lord Trian? I see. The brutal intrigue of the Dwarven court continues then. Your father intimated as much. There is no reason for you to walk these deep roads and die for something you did not do. You've already proven yourself both resourceful and skilled, and I would expect nothing less from Idukan. I've been searching for those with your level of ability. Your exploits in the deep roads set you apart. As leader of the Grey Wardens in Relden, I would like to formally invite you to join our order. Then welcome. We leave immediately for Ostergard to join with the human forces facing the Darkspawn hordes led by Kaelin. Stay close. There is still Darkspawn around every corner. We will be traveling south through the hinterlands to the ruin of Ostagar, on the edges of the Korkari Wilds. The Tevinter Imperio built Ostagar long ago to prevent the Watchers from invading the northern lowlands. It's fitting we make our stand here, even if we face a different foe within that forest. The King's forces have clashed with the Darkspawn several times, but here is where the bulk of the Horde will show itself. There are only a few Grey Wardens within Ferelden at the moment, but all of us are here. This blight must be stopped, here and now. If it spreads to the north, Ferelden will fall.
Oh there, Duncan.
King Kaelan. I didn't expect a
royal welcome? I was beginning to worry you'd miss all the fun.
Not if I can help it, Your Majesty.
Then I'll have my mighty Duncan at my side in battle after all. Glorious. The other wardens told me you found a promising recruit. I take it this is she?
Allow me to introduce you, Your Majesty.
There's no need to be so formal, Duncan. We'll be shedding blood together after all. Oh there, friend. Might I know your name? Pleased to meet you. Grey Wardens are desperate to bolster their numbers, and I, for one, am glad to help them. It's good to see one of the honorable stout folk outside Orzammar. Sounds like there's a story behind that. You must regale me with it sometime. I meant after we defeat the Blight, of course. I doubt Loghain will give me a moment's rest until then. I've been to Orzammar. King Endrin invited my father to a grand proving long ago. How does Endrin fare these days? Well, it seems your story may be even more interesting than I suspected. Allow me to be the first to welcome you to Ostagar. The Wardens will benefit greatly with you in their ranks. I'm sorry to cut this short, but I should return to my tent. Loghain waits eagerly to bore me with his strategies.
Your uncle sends his greetings and reminds you that Redcliffe forces could be here in less than a week.
Ha! Eamon just wants in on the glory. We've won 3 battles against these monsters, and tomorrow should be no different. I'm not even sure this is a true blight. There are plenty of Darkspawn on the field, but alas, we've seen no sign of an archdemon.
Disappointed, Your Majesty?
I'd hoped for a war like in the tales. A king riding with the fabled Grey Wardens against a tainted god. But I suppose this will have to do. I must go before Loghain sends out a search party. Farewell, Grey Wardens.
What the king said is true. They've won several battles against the Darkspawn here. Despite the victories so far, the Darkspawn horde grows larger with each passing day. By now, they look to outnumber us. I know there is an archdemon behind this, but I cannot ask the king to act solely on my feeling. You must not speak of the king so. He is over-eager, perhaps, but he is also one of the few Grey Warden allies. Our numbers in Ferelden are too few. We must do what we can, and look to Teyrn Loghain to make up the difference. To that end, we should proceed with the joining ritual without delay. I agree. We have until nightfall to begin the ritual. Every recruit must go through a secret ritual we call the joining, in order to become a Grey Warden. The ritual is brief, but some preparation is required. We must begin soon. Feel free to explore the camp here as you wish. All I ask is that you do not leave it for the time being. There is another Grey Warden in the camp by the name of Alistair. When you're ready, seek him out and tell him it's time to summon the other recruits. Until then, I have business I must attend to. You may find me at the Grey Warden tent on the other side of this bridge, should you need to.